from RedZone Weather. This is a severe weather alert.
A new tornado warning has just been issued for parts of southeast Washington County in South Alabama. Yet another tornado warning for Washington County that's going to be valid until this is going to be on the board until 2 o'clock. So the current time is 1:35 p.m. And if you will swivel those monitors around for me, please, ma'am. I've made the mistake of not doing that so we can kind of get a view of this. Again, that's your tornado warning, and we are going to zoom in shortly to areas in Washington County where we have a new tornado warning until 2 p.m. So again, let's go ahead and zoom in on Washington County, and you can see that tiny tornado warning polygon. Take me over to LD2, please, ma'am. And we will show you, there we go. So your possible tornado is right in through here, and it's actually the same area of circulation that we talked about in our last video. So again, this is a distinct tornado warning that is now in effect for southeastern Washington County. If you're in McIntosh, if you're in Calvert, you need to get to that tornado safe place right now. Again, a brand new tornado warning in effect until 2 o'clock for parts of southeast Washington County. In fact, if you will, take me over to the, in just a second, we want to go to the iPad and look at what's going on here. All right, there we go. Take me over to the iPad, please. And again, yet another cell in southern Washington County. Right in through there is your possible tornado. And again, this thing is moving off to the east at about 45 miles per hour. So again, if you are in McIntosh, if you are in areas just to the north of Calvert on the Washington County side, we need you to get to that tornado safe place. Again, possible tornado is basically over the Scotch Wildlife Management area right in through here. Look at all the lightning associated with this storm as it comes into McIntosh. Storms are loud, storms are proud today, but again, the only tornado warning is this brand new tornado warning polygon that we have for parts of Washington County over in West Alabama. Let's show you the warning, and take me over to LD2, please. And again, this is your tornado warning. So again, Sims Chapel, the Boykin WMA, community of Malcolm, which sits right here. You've got McIntosh. This is US Highway 43, a very sparsely populated part of Washington County here in West Alabama. The roads that you can kind of see there, these tiny little lines right in through there, most of those are actually dirt roads, maybe hunting clubs or things like that. And your possible tornado is very near Sims Chapel. The Weather Service is noting that this signature has really ramped up over the last little bit as we look at them in our NWS chat system. And I should mention as well, we continue to have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for much of Washington, Clark, Monroe, Wilcox, and even northern Conecuh counties. Those are valid until after 2 o'clock as we've got this main line of storms that continue to move off to the east. Back over to LD1, please. And again, we'll show you that on radar. I tell you what, they are having big-time tornado issues over in southeast Georgia. In fact, look at all those warnings. My goodness, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tornado warnings near Americus and Albany over in southeast Georgia. We're also monitoring a tornadic storm coming into Tuskegee in Macon County, and also another tornado warning storm in the eastern half of Autauga County. But again, we are here because of this tornado warning back here in Washington County in Alabama. Again, on the board until 2 p.m. And just checking our sources here, NWS chat. If you'll take me over to the iPad, I want to check the correlation coefficient because this is the product that basically allows us to confirm the tornadoes when we have a tornado warning. And that right there, that green dot, we have now shifted from a possible tornado. This is now a confirmed tornado on the ground approaching areas just near McIntosh and perhaps just south of there along US Highway 43. And so again, no longer a possible, this is likely a tornado on the ground in southern Washington County. And I use the word likely, no doubt about it, this thing was on the ground moments ago, but just like, you know, tornado warnings that, or I should say, couplets that ramp up and ramp down, this may be on the ground, but it may have lifted at this point. There's really no way to exactly tell unless you're there, but no doubt about it, this is a confirmed tornado that did loft debris into the sky. When you see a signature like that, that lets us know that there's confirmed damage at this point, and it's kind of a weird situation there with the radar being able to do that. But the deal is the radar looks out and it compares the sizes of the things in the atmosphere. And when you start getting a lower correlation coefficient, that lets us know that there's inconsistencies and likely debris falling from the sky in places just to the southwest of McIntosh. That's the new dual polarization technology. Back over to LD2. And again, this is a small tornado warning polygon. Back over to LD2, here we go. Chatham is not included in this new tornado warning. Same thing at Jackson and Leroy and Wagerville. Fruitdale, Vinegar Bend, Milry. Not for you. This is strictly for the southeastern part of Washington County out here near Sims Chapel and McIntosh, as again a confirmed tornado now at this point, pushing toward the US Highway 43 corridor near McIntosh and just to the north of the former ThyssenKrupp plant there at Calvert. So again, between Calvert and the ThyssenKrupp plant all the way up to McIntosh. That's where we encourage no driving along the major north-south thoroughfare in West Alabama, which is US Highway 43. Pull over. You don't want to be in a tornado warning driving in a car. Let's take down the banner and go over to the graphics and show you exactly what you need to do if you are in McIntosh. If you're anywhere near McIntosh, back over to LD2, please. We encourage you to put a helmet on and get to your tornado safe place right now. Again, lowest floor of the site-built structure as we continue to track this tornadic storm over in Washington County. Back over to LD1. And I realize it's raining like cats and dogs in places like Gosport, back up to Watley, areas near Veredenburg, back down here to Gainestown. But these storms, while they could be producing damaging straight-line winds, the tornado risk is back here in Washington County as of now. And by the way, all these showers out here, out ahead of the main line of storms, producing heavy rain, but these storms are under severe limits. We've got lots of winds blowing out of the south from the Gulf of Mexico, and again, the tornado warning is for southeast Washington County, valid until 2 p.m. And I continue to see that debris signature on radar. So again, if you are in McIntosh or along the US Highway 43 corridor, if you're within 5 miles of US Highway 43 in the far southern part of Washington County, you do something about it. This is a big deal, and we know that there has been damage in southern Washington County. Separately from this, we also know that there was damage just to the south of Chatham along the State Highway 17 corridor. That was due to a different tornado. So we're now up to 2 tornadoes today that have happened in our local area. Again, we've gone from a situation where we've had possible tornadoes with 2 confirmed tornadoes at this point over in Washington County. Let's loop the radar so we can kind of show you the eastward advancement of these storms. Again, over the last hour, this line of storms has really accelerated to the east. And again, behind this line of storms, just like we talked about in our last video, you get an all clear if you are behind the line of storms. So again, current time is 1:44 p.m. I'm Spinks Megginson, joined alongside Bentley Martin, and we are in tornado warning coverage on this Sunday afternoon. A level 3 risk is in place for much of our area as we have a situation with a confirmed tornado over in Washington County. Again, let's take down the banner and put up exactly what you should do if you are in McIntosh, areas near Sims Chapel along US Highway 43. Get underground. You want to be in a site-built structure if you can't get underground. The idea is to put as many walls as you possibly can between you and the outside world. Don't wait to see the tornado. Don't fall into that trap. You're probably not going to see it. It's probably a rain-wrapped tornado that we have in southern Washington County coming into areas near McIntosh. Put a helmet on. I know it looks funny. You know, you can laugh and scoff at it, but it absolutely can save your life and help protect your life in a tornado warning. That's probably the best possible thing you can do on this list. Put a helmet on right now if you are in McIntosh or areas near Sims Chapel. Back over to, let's go back over to the iPad. And again, this correlation coefficient, this is a very nerdy term for basically how we can confirm that this tornado is absolutely producing damage in southern Washington County. Right in through there. Let's watch it again. You see when the tornado warning was issued, and then this little green blob right in through there, that is your confirmed tornado approaching the U.S. Highway 43 corridor in southern Washington County. Again, McIntosh, can't stress it enough. Confirmed tornado, be in your safe place. It looks like that the core of this confirmed tornado is going to come just to the south of the center of McIntosh. But look, I realize there are many people in this area who have a McIntosh address as a physical address. And so if you have a McIntosh physical address, you need to do something about it. You need to get to the lowest floor of your site-built structure. That is a tornado, no doubt about it at this point. Moving just like this toward Highway 43, and ultimately it's going to cross into this swampland of the northern stretches of the Mobile-Tensaw River Delta. This is southern Clark County technically, and there's not many people at all who live in this area because this is all swampland. But before you get there, this is a sparsely populated part of Washington County. And again, south of McIntosh and north of Calvert, that is your tornado warning, and you need to be doing something about it right now. Back over to LD1, and just checking on the other tornado warnings that we've got going on across the great state of Alabama. The only other one at this point is up in Macon County, which is between Montgomery and Auburn along the Interstate 85 corridor. That is the only other tornado warning that we have. If you're in Tuskegee, or you know someone in Tuskegee, you need to let them know that they are under the gun from a possible tornado over the next few minutes. The good news is that cell is clearly going to be to the south of Auburn. And so if you've got a student at Auburn University, no doubt that cell is going to pass to the south of Auburn and Opelika. So again, we are here because of this tornado warning in southern Washington County that continues until 2 o'clock. And I got to keep tabs on the time. Current time is 1:48 p.m. We got 12 more minutes on this thing. And look, this is the situation that we're going to have over the next few hours. You see this eastward advancing line of storms. There's going to be pop-up tornado warnings over the next few hours, most likely, as this line of storms continues working its way to the east. And don't be shocked is, if we get this line continue pushing like this, and obviously we will, this line is going to come into an atmosphere that's even more conducive for tornado development. So again, the only concern right now in terms of tornado warnings is right here in southern Washington County. Possible tornado near McIntosh along U.S. Highway 43 pushing off to the east. And again, you need to do something about it if you are in McIntosh. Should have been in your tornado safe place, 15, 20 minutes ago, but perhaps you're catching this at the last minute near McIntosh on the north side of Calvert and the ThyssenKrupp plant in Calvert. Be sheltered along anywhere near U.S. Highway 43 in southern Washington County. You absolutely do something about it. Checking our NWS chat system here to see if the Weather Service is saying anything. NWS Birmingham is noting that there's a confirmed rotating wall cloud coming into Tuskegee. So again, that would be the cell that I just talked about up there in Macon County. In fact, take me back over to LD2 and we'll show you that tornado warning very quickly. This is Macon County here. We also should note that the entirety of Montgomery County, which is Alabama's third most populous county, now under a severe thunderstorm warning, new tornado warning. And in fact, I think this one is actually off the board. The system hasn't updated yet, but the only two tornado warnings we have are for Macon and Washington counties. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning to tell you about, and this one is going to be on the board until 2:30 p.m. So here's what I want to do. Let's talk about this new severe thunderstorm warning. We have got so many people involved in severe thunderstorm warnings right now. So let's take you through this. This is going to be your new polygon. And so if you're in Greenville, if you are in Georgiana, McKenzie, areas near Okie Streak, at Forest Home, Highland Home, all of those areas now under a severe thunderstorm warning. Same thing at Evergreen. Also areas near Lenox and Repton, a new severe thunderstorm warning till 2:30 p.m. Damaging straight line winds going to be possible in those areas over the next little bit. All of Monroe County at this point, much of Wilcox, Clark, the northern tip of Baldwin, and also southern Washington County is under severe thunderstorm warnings that are valid until basically 2:30 p.m., until this line of storms passes through your location. Let's actually go back over to the iPad because the Weather Service is noting that we've got an area of rotation organizing near Claiborne. So let me give you some context here. I realize this is kind of a different view from probably what you're used to seeing. This is Monroe County here. Clark County is here. This is US Highway 84. Monroeville's here. Mexie is right here. Claiborne and the Claiborne Lock and Dam is right there. So again, that's going to be a developing area of rotation. Don't be surprised over the next little bit if we get a tornado warning. I'm putting you on alert if you are in Monroeville, if you're near Mexie or Tunnel Springs. Heads up, you may have a tornado warning over the next little bit. Again, that's a developing area of rotation. And just checking a few other sources here to see if we have any other damage reports from Washington County. Again, we've been watching this cell back in Washington County for the last little bit. In fact, while I look at this, if you'll take me back over to LD1, all right, we got a new tornado warning that we need to tell you about. This is a new one, and it's going to be for parts of Conecuh and Monroe County. So I'm going to get out a Red Zone Weather text alert quickly. This is going to be valid until 2:15 p.m. and we're going to go ahead and send that out. Same thing in Conecuh County, and if you'll just look down and make sure you're getting those app alerts, please, ma'am, that would be helpful. Again, we manually push out all the alerts. You don't get automated alerts from me, and you probably never will because they're very, very annoying, but we do the handcrafted alerts anytime we have a tornado warning for any part of the Red Zone Weather coverage area. Again, current time is 1:52 p.m. and this is going to be a new tornado warning that has just been issued. So here's what I want to do. Take me over to LD2 and I want to show you who is involved in this new tornado warning. If you're in Monroeville, if you're in Peterman, if you're in Tunnel Springs, areas near Mexie, Frisco City, Excel, you are involved in a tornado warning. That means you got to do something about it right now. Get to the lowest floor of your site-built structure, underground if you can. You don't have to be underground to survive a tornado. It's the best possible place to be, but if you can't get underground, it's okay. Get to the lowest floor in the center part of your house. Small room, away from windows and doors. Also, northern Conecuh County is included. If you're in Repton, Burnt Corn, Ninchburg, also areas near Bowles. You've got a community right here to the north of there, or I should say just to the south of there, called Lieffian. So again, all those areas that I just called out, a new tornado warning is in effect for you. You got something new to tell us about? Okay. Again, current time is 1:54 p.m. and we're tracking 2 possible tornadoes at this point. Take me back over to LD1 and we'll show you that this eastward moving line of storms has prompted 2 tornado warnings, one for southern Washington County, and the newest one here is for Monroe and Conecuh counties. Again, if you are in Monroeville, you do something about it, and you do something about it right now. Get to the lowest floor of that site-built structure, away from windows and doors. That's the thing that we want to do, and we want to do it right now. You're blessed with lead time. Take me back over to the iPad, and we'll show you the signature on radar. All right, so what I've drawn there, this is your counterclockwise circulation of the mesocyclone over Purdue Hill that could be producing a tornado along US Highway 84. And that's the circulation right in through here. And the signature is going to be moving just like that. There may be a northward component of motion, but again, this thing is making a beeline for Alabama's literary capital of Monroeville. So again, Monroeville, anywhere near Monroeville. If you have a Monroeville, Alabama zip code, you do something about it. and you get to that tornado safe space now. This does include Monroeville. The good news is this does not include southern Monroe County. LD2, please. And we'll show you that Uri is not included in this tornado warning. So Uri is down here in the southern side of Monroe County. Monroe and Conecuh counties, just like many of Alabama counties, are pretty large. And again, Uri is not involved, Goodway is not involved, Mineola and McGarkle not included in this tornado warning, but Monroeville is. The major population centers in Monroe County are included. And I believe, I think that's going to be a new tornado warning. Let's check on that. No, I'm sorry, that's a new severe thunderstorm warning. So look, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But again, we are here to talk about the tornado warnings. This is a robust line of storms working in an atmosphere today that is conducive for severe weather. Back over to LD1. And again, 2 tornado warnings active as of this county near McIntosh, but also Monroeville, areas near Tunnel Springs, over here near Burnt Corn, Mexi, XL, Frisco City. All those areas that I just called out, you have an active tornado warning right now. The new severe thunderstorm warning, and I realize it's Warnings Palooza today, but we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning for areas here in Escambia County, Alabama. So here's the deal. If you are in Huxford, areas near Porch, Boonville, Pineview, Wallace, Barnett's Crossroads, you now have a severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be active until 2:45 p.m. So we got about 46 minutes on that for much of western Escambia County. Don't be surprised if we have more severe thunderstorm warnings for Escambia County and even Baldwin County. But again, this new severe thunderstorm warning is for southern areas of Monroe, southern Conecuh, and much of northwest Escambia County in Alabama. We've got a slew of severe thunderstorm warnings due to this line of storms working its way by. But again, we are here because of this tornado warning in central Monroe County. Possible tornado. Let's get in real tight on the radar here. And your possible tornado is actually going to be right in through here. It's not exactly directly correlated with where you see that bright red, but when we look at the velocity data, the couplet happens to be right in through here in areas just to the west of Monroeville. So again, all of this area that you're seeing on your screen right now basically is involved in a tornado warning. So no driving right now, absolutely no driving on US 84 from Gosport all the way back over to Evergreen. This is US 84 right in through here. And so again, if you are perhaps driving eastbound on 84 out of Grove Hill, you need to pull over, all right? This possible tornado is just to the east of Gosport, and perhaps you're driving westbound on 84, perhaps out of Andalusia and Evergreen. You need to pull over. Tornado warning continues for areas near Repton, areas near Ollie, also Mexi, Frisco City, XL, Monroeville, Peterman, Tunnel Springs. Also, areas near the former Vanity Fair plant. You've got the Guthries there in central Monroeville. Areas near United Bank, near Main Street Family Urgent Care, near the courthouse, the historic Courthouse Square there in Monroeville. All those areas that I just called out, you are involved in an active tornado warning, and you need to seek shelter right now. We're going to see what they're going to do with this other tornado warning in Washington County. And again, the signature down there has kind of broadened out quite a bit, but there still could be some damaging straight line winds. And so what the Weather Service has opted to do, we're going to be down officially to 1 tornado warning. But here's the deal. Damaging winds are still going to be possible in northern Baldwin County, as we have a severe thunderstorm warning that's on the board until 2:30 p.m. from that former tornado warned storm. So again, no more tornado warning for southeastern Washington County. That's about to go away, but again, severe thunderstorm warning does continue for southern Clark right in through here, and when I say southern Clark, I mean south of Gainestown, all that swampland that's south of Gainestown here on the northern fringes of the Mobile-Tensaw River Delta. Again, that's a severe storm potentially producing damaging straight-line winds coming into Tensaw, Stockton, Mineola, and McGargle, and Uri, and Huxford ultimately in the next 30 minutes. So you want to be in shelter right now. I tell you what, this thing near Monroeville certainly could be producing damaging straight-line winds. What we're going to do, we're going to zoom in here on the iPad, if you'll take me over there, and show you the velocity data, because this is how we're tracking the tornadoes today. So much easier to see on velocity. And your possible tornado is going to be right in through here, coming into Monroeville. So if you are familiar with Monroeville, you have got US Highway 84, that is the main east-west thoroughfare there in Monroeville. If you know where the intersection of 47 and 84 is, out here just to the west of Monroeville, that's going to be State Highway 47. You got that old railroad bridge on 47 just to the east of Monroeville. If you have any idea what I'm talking about, that old railroad bridge where you got the big curve in the railroad just to the west of Monroeville, you need to be in your tornado safe place right now. This thing is moving just like that. And I tell you what, it is going to pass right over the core of Monroeville. So anywhere near Monroeville, you be sheltered, as you now have a tornado warning with a possible tornado on your doorstep if it's not in Monroeville already. And again, this thing is moving off to the east just like that. Let's actually go over to correlation coefficient before we go back over to the other source. And it's just noisy, and that's what we want to see. That is certainly some good news, but again, there absolutely could be a tornado down coming into Monroeville, perhaps areas just to the north of Frisco City and Excel here along US Highway 84. So again, be sheltered in those areas that I just called out over the next little bit. Go back over to LD2 and we'll show you the situation as it stands now across our region. So here's the deal. One tornado warning for South Alabama and Northwest Florida. It is here in central Monroe and the far northern part of Conecuh County. Evergreen technically is included in this tornado warning, but I do think that the core of the tornado risk will likely pass just to the north of Evergreen. But as a course of least regret, if you're in Evergreen, we're going to do what we do in tornado warnings and get sheltered. It's the right thing to do, and it's the thing you should be doing if you are in Evergreen right now. You're blessed with lead time in northern Conecuh County. This thing is back here over Monroeville right now, pushing off to the east. And by the way, you've got a big chunk of Alabama Highway 41, no driving on 41, south of, say Beatrice, all right? You got Beatrice right here, no driving south on 41, and same thing at Repton. If you're at Repton and perhaps you're coming into Repton on 41, you pull over at Repton. You don't drive into this tornado warning that continues for the next, let's see, 12 minutes for portions of central Monroe and northern Conecuh counties. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning. Take me back to LD1, please. There we go. And this severe storm coming into areas near Tensaw and northern Baldwin County along Alabama Highway 59 very well could be producing extensive wind damage, as this is the former tornado warned storm that produced a confirmed tornado about 45 minutes ago back here in southern Washington counties. And by the way, if you've been watching, you know that we now have two areas of confirmed damage here in Washington County, one here near Chatham and one down here near Sims Chapel. So again, two tornadoes today in our local area, and perhaps a third right now happening near Monroeville. We also have a new tornado warning. This is going to be outside of our area. So let's do this. Let me actually take us up to a different radar source here, because I know that we've got lots of folks interested in those babies at Auburn. I know we've got a lot of moms and dads that watch, but here's the deal. No tornado warning right now for Auburn or Opelika. If you are in Auburn or Opelika, anywhere on the campus of Auburn University, you're okay. This tornado warning is not for you, but there could be a possible tornado just to the south of Auburn, out here near Smith Station. This is going to be US Highway 280. This does include Phoenix City. And so Phoenix City and areas near Columbus are included in that tornado warning. But again, Auburn University and Auburn not included. We have had so many tornado warnings today, and again, this event is just getting started in some cases. So let's go back to our local area and we'll show you what's going on. Go to LD2, and the deal is we also have a severe thunderstorm warning in progress for much of Butler, Wilcox, also the northern part of Monroe that's not involved in the tornado warning. This would be areas like Beatrice, Hines Farm, also areas near Old Texas. Severe thunderstorm warning for you. Same thing out here near Owassa, Grace, Garland, Starlington in southern Butler. In fact, basically the entirety of Butler County, minus areas out here near Okie Streak, included in a severe thunderstorm warning. That one's going to be on the board until 2:45 p.m. So again, numerous warnings happening right now. Go back over to the iPad and we'll show you this velocity, which is how we track tornadoes on radar. Not the classic reflectivity view that you're probably accustomed to, but your possible tornado is right in through here on top of the city of Monroeville. And so I think we'll know shortly if we have damage in that area. There's a lot of folks right there in the heart of Monroe County in Monroeville. So again, we're going to know shortly if something is going on. Just checking a few other sources here to see what we've got going on. All right, and if I go silent, just pardon me. I'm checking our NWS chat system. I'm also scanning to see if we've got damage in parts of Monroe County, as we've got this active tornado warning that continues until 2:30 p.m. Current time is 2:07, meaning that we've got 23 more minutes active on this tornado warning. And I apologize, it's actually till 2:15, so we're going to likely get an extension here of this tornado warning until 2:30. But again, hang out in that tornado warning shelter if you're in Monroeville or Mexi, areas near Tunnel Springs. Perhaps you're just tuning in. If you are in Burnt Corn, areas near Lynchburg, also Repton, areas out here near Bowles, Lieffian, Evergreen. This is Alabama Highway 83. This possible tornado is going to be crossing Alabama Highway 83 over the next 30 to 45 minutes. So you got a little bit of lead time if you're in Evergreen or points just to the north of Evergreen in northern Conecuh County. Take this seriously. It is a tornado warning. It's the highest warning that you can get basically in the weather world. So again, current time 2:08. And take me back over to LD1. I want to show you what's going on elsewhere across the region. These storms in northwest Florida have really ramped up over the last little bit. The issues are to the north. We have no active severe thunderstorm or tornado warnings for any part of northwest Florida, but heavy rain is happening now with a good bit of lightning in places like Walnut Hill, Brat, over to Century, areas just to the east of East Bruton, out here towards Ridge Road, and also near the Bradley community and Roberts. Heavy rain there. And again, heavy rain extending back here into northern Mobile County, near Citronelle, near Mount Vernon, back here into southern Mississippi as well. But these storms that you see right in through here are all under severe limits at this time. So we got a continuation of the tornado warning. Let's go to LD2, and I want to zoom in on this, because in just a second, you're going to get a polygon update of this tornado warning continuous. I wouldn't be surprised if we got another tornado warning for parts of Conecuh County. And so here's the deal. If you are in areas near, say, Claiborne or Claiborne Lock and Dam, back here in the western part of Monroe County, I'll give you an all clear. The severe weather risk has come to an end for areas near Claiborne. Same thing near Franklin. Also areas near, say, Scratch Ankle and Finchburg, right in through here. The tornado warning has been clipped out. Monroeville, you are still included. So you hang out in that tornado safe space if you are in Monroeville. Same thing at Frisco City and Excel. Give me about 5 more minutes and I'll probably be able to give you an all clear. That's good news, but I can't do it just yet, as this possible tornado is on top of Monroeville. The signature is It's not very well defined. Take me back over to the iPad, and again, you'll see this updated tornado warning polygon there as well. We're zoomed in on it pretty tight here, and that's going to be your possible tornado right in through here, right there, and it's moving just like that. So again, on that trajectory, this is going to cross into Conecuh County, just to the north, most likely, of Repton. So again, the call to action at this point has shifted. And if you're in northern Conecuh County, from Evergreen back up to areas here near Lieffian, including Bowles, you need to do something about it. This tornado is on your doorstep as it comes out of Monroeville, just like that. And so a very rural part of Conecuh County up here in the north. But again, you got to do something about it, as we've got this possible tornado prompting this tornado warning that's going to be continued for eastern Monroe and also the northern parts of Conecuh County. By the way, I should mention, this tornado warning in Conecuh at this point does not include Castleberry or areas near Range. Areas to the south of Repton, down in through here, these areas are not involved. You got Jay Villa, Johnsonville, Brooklyn. All those areas are okay for now. The issues are to the north in the northern half of Conecuh County. Back over to LD1. All right, and we got a new tornado warning. If we can go back up, this is actually going to be a very rare, and we're going to shift up there. This is a tornado emergency at this point. This is something very rare and something that we don't see every day. And that is just classic. Again, we're going to come back to this thing near Monroeville in a second. Let me stress though, if you are in Auburn or you are in Opelika, this is not for you. This is a very rare tornado emergency, and you can go ahead and put that up. This is a large, violent tornado. This thing has really ramped up on the board south of Auburn. So again, you see this purple polygon. Again, we're breaking into our coverage for Monroe County to share with you. This is something you never, ever, ever want to see. Again, a tornado emergency now in progress for areas near Smith Station, back over here into the southern part of Lee County. I tell you what, that is a terrible, terrible situation. Go back over to the iPad. My goodness gracious. This thing is very, very violent right in through there. That's your circulation, just like that. Again, Auburn, I can't stress enough, this is not for you. If you're a mom or dad and you've got a kid at Auburn University, they are okay, all right? A very, very bad situation happening just to the south of Auburn, coming into areas near Smith's and Smith Station. I'm talking absolutely no driving right now. If you know someone that perhaps is traveling south of Opelika to the east of Opelika, out on 280 going into Columbus, you need to call them. This is a violent situation, something you never, ever, ever want to see, as this possible, I should say confirmed tornado, violent tornado, is on the ground well south of Auburn. Go back over to LD1, and again, let me stress, that is an amazing signature on radar, and I say amazing in the sense of it is something you never want to see for southern Lee and the far northern part of Russell County. Phoenix City is included in that tornado emergency. And I don't know if you can check on who you need to check on for Phoenix City. That would be great. Because again, a tornado emergency in progress for those areas. All right, let's go back to LD2. Again, we are here. We're going to let the Columbus TV stations take care of them. But again, if you know someone in Smith's or Smith Station in the southern side of Lee County, take down that banner too, please, as we have no active tornado emergency for South Alabama, but we do have an active tornado warning that continues for the next little bit for parts of Monroe and also Conecuh counties here in southern Alabama. You can see that polygon on your screen right now. Let's see if we can go back over in just a second to the iPad, and we'll be able to give you an all clear very, very shortly. And tell you what, I'm actually going to send out an alert. There's a large, violent tornado on the ground right now moving toward Phoenix City. That is something, again, you never, ever, ever want to see. And again, we normally don't issue medium level alerts in the RedZone weather app when we're in live coverage, but again, this is a situation up there in central Alabama. Very, very bad. All right, so again, current time is 2:15 p.m. and it looks like the Weather Service is going to allow our tornado warning to expire. So again, we got numerous severe thunderstorm warnings in progress, and I should mention as well, there is no active tornado warning for any part of Geneva County at this point. You just saw that perhaps on your screen. Nothing for Geneva right now. That warning is long gone. Our system has not updated. But again, this is a current view. If you are in the northern part of Baldwin, the far western part of Escambia County, Alabama, severe thunderstorm warning going to continue. And we're not going anywhere because you know the drill. These things are ramping up, they're ramping down. But here's the deal. If you are in Monroeville, let's see if we can go back over to the reflectivity on the iPad. We're watching that thing up in central Alabama. There we go. Go to the iPad, please. If you're in Monroeville, I'm giving you an all clear. And when I say Monroeville, I'm talking the heart of Monroeville. This cell has ramped down, and there is now no active tornado warning for any part of South Alabama or Northwest Florida. A tornado emergency does continue over the next 15 to 30 minutes for parts of southern Lee and northern Russell counties in the far eastern part of Alabama. Terrible situation transpiring there on the ground up around Auburn. So again, what I want to do, we're going to talk about what's happening now across our local area, and then I'm going to shift, and because we've got so much interest in Auburn, we're going to look at that terrible, terrible storm that's happening to the south of Auburn. And let me reiterate, go back over to, once I get it up, there we go. Go back over to LD number 2, please. And again, here's your current radar view. Current time is 2:16 p.m. We have no active tornado warnings for any part of South Alabama or Northwest Florida. Yes, we have rain. Yes, we have storms, lots of lightning. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue for the next 30 or so minutes for Greenville, Georgiana, McKenzie, Evergreen, also areas near Owasso, back down to Range and Repton, extending down the I-65 corridor. You don't want to be driving on 65 right now, basically between Montgomery all the way back down to Bay Minette and the Dolly Parton Bridge. That's your line of storms. And again, the good news is once you are behind this line of storms, you get an all clear. So again, we can give an all clear at this point to Monroeville, to Beatrice, areas back here near Gainestown, Grove Hill, Jackson, also Chatham, Calvert, areas near McIntosh, Milry, and obviously all of Marengo and Choctaw counties. All those areas get an all clear. The severe weather risk has ended, and the tornado watch will likely soon be dropped. So again, very heavy rain approaching Atmore and Porch. We're going to keep watching these storms, but I want to go back up to central Alabama because this is just something you never ever see. Go back over to LD1, and just to give you some context of where we're looking at. So here's Montgomery right here. This is Auburn here. Alexander City's here. This is Interstate 85. That's 185 in the far western part of Georgia. This is something you pray you never, ever, ever see. That is a tornado emergency that continues for the far southeastern part of Lee County. Again, if you are in Auburn or you have a student at Auburn University, they are A-OK as of now. This tornado is, say, 10 miles to the east of Auburn at this point and moving to the east. But look at that hook echo. I mean, this is just textbook storm structure moving into areas near the US 280 corridor near Smith Station. I'm telling you what, that is producing terrible damage at this point, no doubt about it. And I bet there's a debris signature on radar. Yeah, take me back over to the iPad. Again, you're looking at Lee County, no active tornado warning for any part of South Alabama or Northwest Florida. But that right there is a large, violent tornado on the ground coming into communities like Smith Station and Smiths along US Highway 280. Let's back this thing up because, again, goodness gracious, that is definitely the strongest signature we've seen all day. And when you start getting values, let's see where those are. Goodness gracious. down around 46, the correlation is so low because of the amount of debris being lofted into the sky. Again, no active tornado warning for Auburn University, or Opelika. But again, a tornado emergency. Go back over to LD1. We actually have a new tornado emergency that has just been issued for parts of western Georgia. And again, we're going to let the Columbus TV stations deal with that. But again, the northern part of the Columbus metro area, this is Columbus, Georgia, not Columbus, Mississippi. This is something you never ever want to see. A tornado emergency is in progress there. Go back over to LD number 2. In fact, let me mash a quick button there to get us back to where we need to be. There we go, Live Doppler Plus, the correct banner. And we're going to hang out here over the next few minutes. We have no active tornado warnings for any part of South Alabama and Northwest Florida. I'm going to check velocity quickly to see if we have any areas of concern. But the good news is, yes, you're going to have kinks in this squall line that could ramp up and produce a tornado. But I think it's safe to say at this point that the issues, the big issues anyway, are going to be to our east and to the north, exactly where you have that tornado emergency that continues for parts of Lee County. But again, I can't stress enough, Auburn University, Auburn, Opelika, not included. It's 4 areas near Smith Station. Thinking back, you know, there was a round of severe weather back on April the 28th of 2014 when I was finishing up at the University of Alabama working at WVUA. There was a big tornado that moved through Smith Station at that point. So this is yet another big tornado moving through Lee County. Back over to the iPad and we'll show you velocity just to give you context of where we are. So here's Atmore, right in through here. You've got Frisco City there. This is going to be Alabama Highway 21 here. This is Interstate 65 right there. And so these little blips that you see on radar, that area of light yellow, I think it is, and dark red on this side, same thing here. Those are areas that could eventually develop into tornadoes as they move off to the east. So again, no active tornado warning now, but this area coming into areas near Porch, near Huxford, near Boonville. Same thing out here near Jack Springs Road at the Porch Creek Indian Reservation. Heads up, I'm giving you a heads up, there could be a tornado warning in about 5 or 10 minutes. We're going to keep watching those cells. No doubt about it, even if a tornado doesn't happen in those areas, we could see damaging straight line winds. So keep that in mind as this area of concern works its way into Atmore. All right, we got a public report from Washington County of nickel-size hail. And you know, we hadn't really talked much about the hail threat today, but nickel-size hail, and that happened on State Highway 56 just west of Chatham. So that was going to be probably about an hour ago now, but no doubt about it, you could get some hail with these storms as they continue working their way to the east. My good friend Scott McClellan sending me a message, debris noted at about 20,000 feet with that tornado emergency warned storm up in central Alabama. Take me back up there if we can do that, please, ma'am, because on LD1, I'm sorry, because that is the only active tornado warning that we have in the state of Alabama. Look at Georgia. You've got the core of Macon, which is one of Georgia's larger cities, under a tornado warning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tornado warnings. Goodness gracious, a tornado outbreak is happening right now over the southern half of Georgia. The good news is the northern half of Georgia and North Alabama, no issues are likely there as cool, stable air is in place. But I tell you what, again, that tornado emergency, goodness gracious, something you pray you never, ever see, and it's happening right now. That's a debris ball. That is debris being lofted into the sky. And again, I don't care, you know, if you're close to them or not. If you have anyone you know in Smith Station, by golly, you call them, as this is a large, violent tornado moving into Smith Station. Again, y'all know me. I don't get dramatic. I don't like all that. But this is clearly a violent situation coming into Smith Station. Anywhere near Smith Station, you let them know that there is a large, violent tornado near the U.S. Highway 280 corridor right now. Again, severe weather coverage continues as we've got a line of storms moving through South Alabama, but I wanted to pause and show you that in central Alabama. Again, Auburn and Opelika, fine. No issues in Auburn. Auburn University. I know I've said it 500 times, but we've got moms and dads tuning in, tuning out, worrying about their kids at Auburn University. No issues within 10 miles of Auburn. The tornado is going to be down here in the far southeastern corner of Smith Station, moving across the Chattahoochee River into Georgia in a matter of minutes. All right, we got a new tornado warning. That's not going to be for our area. This is going to be actually for Macon County. I'll show you that real quick. Here's Macon County. You've got Tuskegee right here, and so if you're in Tuskegee, you had issues about 20 minutes ago. Another tornado coming into Tuskegee. Let me check the trajectory on that, because that potentially could be a system. Looks like it's going to be south of Auburn. So again, if you're in Auburn, you are okay. That is good news. Back to LD2. Again, I know we got many folks watching in South Alabama. And the Weather Service in Birmingham continues to note that catastrophic damage may be possible in southeastern Lee County. We need to have those folks in our thoughts and prayers over the next hour. I'm telling you, the worst type of tornado warning, a tornado emergency. We've never had to put that on the air here at RedZone Weather until today. And so southern Lee County involved in a tornado emergency, not including Auburn. All right, again, a line of severe thunderstorms is working its way through South Alabama. You've got severe thunderstorm warnings that continue for the next 30 to 45 minutes. Let's get in there and look at it bit by bit, because we got a lot of communities.
Salem just north of Smith Station, are they okay?
All right, good question. So the community of Salem is going to be involved in that tornado emergency. And again, my producer rightfully interrupted me. We've got folks watching due to concerns for the community of Salem. I'm just checking to see if that's officially in the Polyon. No doubt about it, they should have been sheltered 20 minutes ago if they're in Salem. Take me back to LD1. We'll look at that. And that's the iPad. Let's go to LD1. That's okay. There we go. So Salem is right here. That's in between Opelika and Smith Station. Again, Opelika's here. This is Interstate 85. This is US Highway 280. Salem is right here. And so conservatively, I think that the core of the tornado risk was south of there, but Salem was involved in this rare tornado emergency. Same thing, this is a hook echo. I mean, that's just classic on top of Smith Station. And again, this thing is about to get into Georgia, where another tornado emergency is in effect over the next little bit. Again, we got to come back to South Alabama and talk about the situation as it stands there. Back to LD2, please. And again, here's your situation. We're going to start in the north and go to the south. We will start in Butler County. Damaging winds possible over the next few minutes. A severe thunderstorm warning does continue. No driving right now on Interstate 65 south of Priesters and Fort Deposit, which is exit number 142. From 142 all the way back down to the Bay Minette exit on Interstate 65. No driving right now as this core of the line of storms is moving just like that. And so Greenville, areas near Chapman, Georgiana, McKenzie, be inside, be away from windows, don't be on the road. A very intense, severe thunderstorm moving in. And I want to call your attention, look at how this line is kind of curvy right in through there. That is often indicative of damaging straight line winds. And so that's why we have this severe thunderstorm warning that continues also for Conecuh County. Now, behind this line of storms, we'll give you an all clear for Monroeville, for Tunnel Springs, for Beatrice, areas out here near Old Texas, Hines Farm. All those areas get an all clear. But again, if you are in Conecuh County, near Lieffian, near Owasso, which is exit 101, you've got exit 93 and exit 96, which are the evergreen exits. If you're anywhere near those exits on Interstate 65, perhaps you're driving, you pull over, let this storm pass by, as it could be producing very intense winds coming into evergreen over the next few minutes. All right, and this is an unconfirmed report, but we have now an unconfirmed report of injuries and damage in Lee County. All right, so that's the southern side of Lee County, not Auburn. Tornado emergency has never included Auburn. It was to the south of Auburn and Opelika, but Smith Station points back to the west in southern Lee County. My goodness, again, a tornado emergency as that storm is about to cross into Georgia. checking a few other things here. Bear with me while I look at damage reports. We got a report of trees down on Walker Springs Road near the Overstreet grocery store. Road is partially blocked. That's back in Clark County. That's going to be to the west of Thomasville. So I'll show you that on the map in just a minute. And again, if I go silent, just bear with me. I'll come right back. What happens when we have severe weather in our RedZone weather app, like right now, is the automated warning service takes over, and the post with the video is always at the top of the app when we have a tornado warning. And again, we don't have any active tornado warnings for any part of South Alabama right now. These are all severe thunderstorm warnings, but the reason we are here is because these storms are cyclical. They're cycling up and cycling down, and I'm looking down at velocity to see exactly what we've got going on. And I tell you, there's kinks in this line that may ramp up and produce a tornado at any point. So again, while we have no active tornado warnings for any part of South Alabama or Northwest Florida, these are moving into an even greater environment that could produce severe weather. So we're going to hang out here for the next few minutes and we'll kind of see how things go. Take me back over to the iPad, please, ma'am. And you can clearly see here at perhaps some damaging areas of wind. Strong wind associated with these severe warned thunderstorms that are moving into areas near Atmore, areas near, say, Porch, and also Huxford, out here near exit 57, which is Alabama Highway 21 crossing Interstate 65, right there near the large casino in western Escambia County, Alabama. All those areas involved in the severe thunderstorm warning that continues for the next few minutes. Let's see what we got going on from NWS Chat Birmingham. They're noting that we've actually got another debris signature to the south of Auburn, not going to be for Auburn, in Macon County. We'll look at that in a minute. Take me back over to, we hadn't done this yet. If you'll go to the Spinks MacBook source that has the word black after it, that would be helpful, please. And this is a view coming in from southern Lee County. We got a new tornado warning. We'll come back to this, but again, that could be your tornado that was because of the tornado emergency there in southern Lee County. I presume that this is US Highway 280. That source, the picture source, by the way, go back over to LD number 2. That's courtesy of Jim Tang, so we thank him for that image. And again, we got a new tornado warning that we need to tell you about. This is going to be for the northern part of Butler County, a tiny, tiny polygon. And if you are in Greenville as a course of least regret, I want you to get to your tornado safe place right now. This thing is probably to the north of Greenville, but as a course of least regret, that polygon does include a part of Greenville. So again, we want all our folks in Greenville to get sheltered right now. And again, if you are in northern Crenshaw County near Highland Home, you also now have an active tornado warning that continues. This is going to be on the board until 3 o'clock. So again, northern Butler County is included in this tornado warning that is valid until 3 p.m. Again, just sending out our RedZone weather text alert right now for our good folks in Butler County. Let's actually show you the entirety of Butler County here. And this area is somewhat in a radar hole. It's so far away from any given radar that it's kind of hard to see exactly what we're seeing there. Let's actually go to a different radar. Oh, there we go. Go to, actually, let's talk about this and then we'll go to the iPad in a second. Greenville and areas to the northeast, like Daisy. There's a tiny community called Daisy right here in the northern part of Butler County. Those are the only two areas involved in this tornado warning. If you're in Georgiana, you are involved in a severe thunderstorm warning, but not the tornado warning. Same thing at Chapman, same thing at Forest Home, same thing at Okie Streak. This is US Highway 31 and Interstate 65, and the possible tornado is here in the northeastern part of Butler County. Go back over to the iPad and you'll see on velocity that this is going to be your possible tornado. And so I think that at this point, again, I know I've said with Greenville you need to get sheltered, but it looks like this thing is going to be about, say, 8 miles to the northeast of Greenville, coming out here towards Highland Home, which is going to be right in through here. And so once it crosses this line, this is Butler County here, and once it crosses into the next county, this is Crenshaw County. You got a little boot heel here, and this is actually Montgomery County up in through here. And so community of Petrie, community of Highland Home right here, tornado warning is in effect for you until 3 p.m. Current time is 2:35, so we got 25 more minutes on this thing, but I can just about guarantee in about 10 minutes we'll be able to give an all clear to all of northern Butler County. But as a course of least regret, again, if you are on the northern side of Greenville out here on US Highway 31, possible tornado is developing right there. And I think this is a great call on the part of our National Weather Service team that issues all the warnings. Your possible tornado is, again, that blue area right here, moving just like that toward Highland Home. And so on that trajectory, it's going to quickly cross out of our local area into Crenshaw County. Tell you what, we're already on the iPad. There we go. And that is a likely tornado in Macon County. The Weather Service in Birmingham noted that this thing, in fact, that right there, that little dot may be a debris ball. Let's zoom in and see. I'll play this. That right there, this is your tornado. So again, another confirmed tornado. Very similar track to the formerly tornado-warned storm that crossed into Georgia a minute ago from Smith Station that has produced confirmed injuries and major damage in southern Lee County. Again, you're looking at East Alabama at this point. And here's the deal. The tornado risk over in Lee County has clearly crossed out of Lee. It's crossed the Chattahoochee River, and it's now in western Georgia. So again, Columbus and areas here in western Georgia, we let the TV stations there handle all that. But again, tornado warning continues there. So again, we got 3 tornado warnings. Let's count them. 1 here in northeastern Butler, northern Crenshaw. You got number 2 here near just to the south of Tuskegee, moving just like that. On that trajectory, Lee, southern Lee, and also northern Russell counties are going to be the areas involved. And then the other tornado warning is for Columbus, Georgia, and points to the north. Goodness gracious, so many warnings this afternoon, and we knew today was going to be a pretty active day with this level 3 risk. Go back over to LD2, please, ma'am, and you'll see that, again, this broken line of thunderstorms continues to work its way across South Alabama and Northwest Florida. We are here because, again, a possible tornado is happening just to the northeast of Greenville, near the tiny community of Daisy. In fact, if you know where Daisy is in northeastern Butler County, you do something about it. Take action, as we have a possible tornado about to cross into areas in Crenshaw County near Highland Home. And so if you're at Highland Home or anywhere near there, within 5 miles of Highland Home, you're involved in that tornado warning that's on the board until 3 p.m. At this point, we can successfully give Greenville an all clear. The tornado risk has ended at Greenville. You can come out of that tornado hiding place. We haven't looked at this in a while. If you will take me back over to the graphics, please. This applies to Highland Home and to Daisy, the community in northeastern Butler County. You want to get underground if you can, but if you can't get underground, that's okay. Get to the lowest floor of your site-built structure, away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you possibly can between you and the outside world. Put a helmet on or a cooking pot if you don't have a helmet. You can laugh, you can scoff, do whatever you want, but put something on your head if you're at Daisy or Highland Home. That's where we have this new tornado warning that's on the board until 3 p.m. Again, we've given Greenville an all clear, so you can come out of that hiding spot at Greenville. The tornado risk is now clearly to your northeast in Daisy and Highland Home. Back over to LD2, got a new severe thunderstorm warning, and this is going to be for all of Escambia County here in South Alabama. This is going to include Atmore, Bruton, Porch, also Flomaton, Pineview, Appleton, Elam, Dixie, also areas near Holmesville, Damascus, and areas near Dixonville as well. And it's due to this thing back here. Basically on top of Porch and Huxford, damaging straight line winds possible over the next few minutes, in addition to obviously lots of lightning, lots of thunder, about to move across Escambia County, Alabama. In addition, this severe thunderstorm warning includes portions of southern Conecuh County, and so Castleberry, areas near Brooklyn and Johnsonville. You are now under a severe thunderstorm warning, meaning you got to be inside, no driving. You want to be away from windows. This storm could be producing damaging straight line winds as it comes into those communities that I just called out. And I want to check and see here what it looks like on velocity. In fact, take me over to the iPad. You very well may have some damaging straight line winds imminently if you are at Atmore or Porch, or areas out here near Barnett's Crossroads, or Wallace, areas near Appleton. Those are going to be next in line to see this potentially damaging severe thunderstorm that's working its way to the east. And when I say severe, that means damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. Please understand, most of the damage that we're going to see today across Alabama will not be due to tornadoes. Now, yes, we have had confirmed damage from tornadoes in Washington County and Lee County, but most of it is going to be trees down due to damaging straight line winds, just like this. And we got a new update to tell you about. This is going to be a cancellation of some tornado watch areas. So some good news. Let's actually go back to, or zoom out, I should say, on LD2, please, ma'am. And Wilcox, Clark, and Washington counties. You now get an all clear. The severe weather risk has ended in those counties, and the tornado watch has just been canceled. It's not reflected here yet because, again, that report is just coming across our wire. It will be shortly. But again, Washington, Clark, and Wilcox, I'm giving you an all clear. I'll be able to give all of Monroe County an all clear within the next 5 minutes. So again, that certainly is some good news. And at this point, again, we only have one active tornado warning for parts of northern Butler County. Again, that's technically why we are here at this point. But I think it's safe to say, let me check the velocity before I speak that, but yeah, no doubt about it, this thing has moved into northern Crenshaw County. So your possible tornado is right in through here on the south side of that red blob right there, and it's moving just like that. And so on that trajectory, this will ultimately likely cross into Montgomery County over the next 5 to 10 minutes. So we'll see if the Weather Service in Birmingham decides to extend that tornado warning into southern Montgomery County. But as of now, northern Crenshaw and far northeastern Butler, you continue under a tornado warning for the next 15 minutes. So again, current time is 2:42 p.m. I'm Spinks Megginson, joined alongside Bentley Martin, and we are in the midst of a severe weather outbreak across the Deep South. Tornado watch continues for many local counties. My goodness, look at that. Goodness. Tornado warnings everywhere over in southern Georgia. My goodness, in addition to that tornado emergency that continues. So it is just a mess over there in southern Georgia. And again, if you are in southern Georgia and perhaps you're stumbling upon this video, we've got folks all over that see our videos, but you need to tune in to a local television station. We've already had one violent tornado in southern Lee County, Alabama, cross the Chattahoochee River north of Columbus, Georgia. Pay attention to those tornado warnings. For us, these QLCS-induced tornado warnings are a little bit different. The bigger concern is with the supercells over in Georgia, no doubt about it. But at this point, we can give an all clear to all of Butler County due to the tornado risk. Now, please understand, a severe thunderstorm warning does continue for much of Butler County for the next 15 minutes. And in fact, here's your line of storms right in through here. The possible tornado is right over Highland Home, if you know where that is in northern Crenshaw County there, along US 331. That line right there is 331 that comes out of Luverne and ultimately goes up to Montgomery. But again, Butler County, at this point, the tornado circulation is clearly in Crenshaw. So that is certainly some good news. If you're in Daisy, community of Daisy, down to Greenville along US Highway 331 and Interstate 65, you are okay at this point. There is no tornado risk for you at this point. A severe thunderstorm warning continues for many local counties. Let's do this. Turn off the radar data and tell you what, take me back over to the iPad, please. Let me kind of reset things here on that system quickly because I want to talk you through exactly who is involved in the warnings right now. All right, back over to LD2. There we go, got it up. And again, we've got one active tornado warning that will be canceled in the next little bit for the northeastern part of Butler. I know that includes Butler, but again, the tornado risk has ended for Greenville and for Daisy, clearly moving across the line into northern Crenshaw County. But look, we've got all of these areas in orange, from Bay Minette and Perdido, extending up the I-65 corridor, back up into Montgomery and Lowndes County, and Crenshaw and Butler County. So again, those areas are under the gun from severe thunderstorms, and you got to take them seriously today, as these storms could be producing damaging straight line winds at this point. Let me shift my source here back down to the mobile radar. We were tracking that tornado emergency warned storm up in Lee County a bit ago. And the deal is that has crossed into Georgia, which is where most of the tornado warnings are now. And tell you what, go back over to LD1, please, ma'am, and you'll see that we're also tracking some storms here in northwest Florida. These are under severe limits for now, but no doubt about it, heavy rain is happening right now along the Florida State Highway 87 and 89 corridors here in Santa Rosa County. Same thing on US Highway 29 between areas near Bogey and Molino back down to Gonzales. This line of storms is going to be working its way to the southeast. Again, all this mess is under severe limits right now. The stronger storms are to the northwest up here near Atmore. In fact, if you are at Atmore, I wouldn't be surprised if winds are gusting up around 40 and 50 miles per hour in some cases, extending up here near Magnolia Branch and Pineview. That little notch right there, it's worth checking out on radar on velocity to see what's going on. In fact, take me back over to the iPad, please, and you'll see on velocity, same storm, there we go. And when you start to see these lighter shades of yellow at this range from the radar, that is indicative of strong winds. So you got, let's see, this is Alabama Highway 113 right here, which connects exit 69 of Interstate 65 back down to Flomaton. Strong winds likely in Pineview, in areas near Robinsonville, back down to Atmore over the next 5 minutes. The cool thing is, once we get this line of storms past Atmore, I'll be able to give you an all clear in about 10 minutes. But if you're out ahead of this line of storms in Bruton and East Bruton, Appleton, Riverview, Rock Hill, back down to Pollard and Kego, all those areas about to have gusty winds, potentially damaging at times, as we have now a severe thunderstorm warning that continues for those areas. All right, current time is 2:47, and the Weather Service is noting that there is circulation apparent in northern Crenshaw County. Take me back over to LD1 because the tornado warning has officially now been clipped out of Butler County. So let me just be transparent on the front end. We have no active tornado warnings for any part of the Red Zone Weather primary coverage area, but you know the drill because these storms are cycling up, they're cycling down. We do have a tornado warning that continues for northern Crenshaw County. We're going to hang out here for the next few minutes, and if we don't have any more tornado warnings, we'll get out of your hair and leave you alone, but for now, our coverage continues. And again, if you know someone in northern Crenshaw County out here near Highland Home, the Weather Service is noting that the circulation is very apparent on radar at this point. And I would absolutely agree with that based on the velocity view. We want to thank our Weather Service friends for doing such a good job today of issuing these tornado warnings. We have had so much lead time, even with that large violent tornado that happened over in East Alabama near Smith's and Smith Station. And goodness, I'm getting messages. I've had 5 messages in the last minute of folks saying the same thing, that there has been just terrible, terrible damage, I should say, in Lee County, southern Lee County, out near Beauregard. An unconfirmed report of people trapped in homes near the Beauregard area in Lee County. Goodness. And several other things that we're not going to get into just because, you know, the nature of news, we'll let the news stations handle that. But we know that there have been injuries. Beyond that, we're not going to speculate, but a terrible situation, tornado emergency earlier for areas in Lee County, Alabama. Goodness gracious, the reports are just horrendous coming out of southern Lee County. And again, Auburn was never involved in that. It didn't include Auburn, it didn't include Opelika, but areas near Smiths and Smith Station, that tornado emergency did include, out along the U.S. Highway 280 corridor. In fact, take me back over to the iPad, please, because those same exact areas, this is something, double whammy, you never want to see. Yet another tornado warning has just been issued for parts of southern Lee County. Smiths is here. Smith Station is here. Salem is here. This is U.S. Highway 280 right here. This tornado warning is going to continue over the next basically 30 minutes or so. And again, the large violent tornado that happened in Lee County, unfortunately, there's yet another signature of a strong tornado moving just like that. And so this also includes a portion of northern Russell County as well. But again, we are here because of this tornado warning that continues in Crenshaw County. Back over to LD2, please. And we got a severe thunderstorm warning now for the northern part of Escambia County in northwest Florida as well. Bratt, also areas out here near Walnut Hill and Davisville included in a severe thunderstorm warning. That polygon is in effect for the next, say, 10 minutes or so. But again, the tornado issues clearly at this point are shifting to our east. Now, this line of storms here moving through south central Alabama, it very well could be producing damaging straight line winds. And we're going to go over to LD1, please, because I want to show you the latest radar imagery for the warnings that you just saw. Same map, except adding the radar data. And goodness, I tell you, the reports from Smith Station just continue to get worse with, again, several things we're not going to mention here on the air, but injuries, people trapped in homes near Beauregard. I'm afraid that there was a large, violent, potentially deadly tornado on the ground there in Smith Station. And again, I keep getting messages about that tornado. But again, the call to action at this point is for the same areas. Those same areas that I just called out in Lee County, again, well outside of our coverage area, south of Auburn, included in a tornado warning. But let's focus on South Alabama, and then we'll go back up to Lee County. So here's the situation at hand. Line of severe storms continues to push across our area, basically paralleling the I-65 corridor right now from Georgiana and McKenzie, extending back here into Conecuh, areas near Lenox down to Huxford. You've got Wallace and Atmore. That's your main line of storms. But I think what's happening, you've got this development out ahead of the main line that's going to help block the inflow, the Gulf moisture streaming into these things. This secondary line at this point, that's what we're calling it, because I think what's going to happen, you're going to see this line overtake it in strength. And so don't be surprised over the next little bit if you're in Pensacola, if you're in Milton, Whiting Field, Crestview, may have a severe thunderstorm warning in the next few minutes for parts of northwest Florida as that line of storms continues to really ramp up. It extends back here into southern Baldwin County as well. We'll zoom in on that area. And again, those storms are really just now getting started in places like Foley and Summerdale, back over here to Seminole, about to come into areas near Alberta. This is I-10 here. And again, this line of storms at this point is under severe limits. All right, we got a new tornado warning to tell you about. This is going to be for a part of Covington County. So let me get to that area on the map. We have had so many tornado warnings today, and this event is not over. It's not over until the line of storms moves through your location. And I'm going to go ahead and get that out via our RedZone weather app alerts. We are blessed with a great system. If you haven't downloaded the RedZone weather app, be sure to do that, as it's a free download and you can set up alerts. You're hearing the alarms go off in the background. Again, this is a possible tornado that is on the north side of Covington County. And this tornado warning for northern Covington County does not, I repeat, does not include Andalusia or Opp. It does include areas near Gant Lake and Clearview, areas near Red Level, and areas near McKenzie. Also Brundage, areas near the Gant Lake included in that new tornado warning. And this one's going to be on the board until 3:30. So again, a tornado warning till 3:30 for northern Covington County, Alabama. And we are sending that out right now via our app alerts. We're also going to send another one to Butler County. Tornado warning till 3:30 for areas near McKenzie. Executive producer Bruce Thompson walking in. Certainly want to thank Bentley Martin for her service as well today. All right, we've just sent out our new app alerts for that new tornado warning that's valid until 3:30. So let's go ahead and take you back over to the Eglin Air Force Base radar. Take me back to the iPad, please. I think this really does it justice. And so here's northern Covington County here. You've got Red Level right there. This is Gant. The Gant Lake Dam is right here. This is US Highway 29 right there. You've got US 84 here. And you also have the state highway that runs out of Andalusia. Just checking a few other things here. Again, this is State Highway 55 right here. You've got Okie Streak right here involved in this new tornado warning. That's your possible tornado. It's straddling the Butler and Covington County line right here, and ultimately it's going to cross into Crenshaw County and come out here near places like Dozier over to Brantley. So again, that's your new tornado warning that's valid until 3:30 local time. Current time is 2:55 p.m. And so at 3 o'clock, we'll kind of do a reset of what's going on. I should mention as well for our friends in northern Crenshaw County, Petrie, Highland Home, you get an all clear. The tornado warning for northern Crenshaw County has come to an end. Again, northern Crenshaw is now out of the tornado warning, but the new tornado warning is for southern Crenshaw County, including a big portion of the US Highway 331 corridor. But again, the northern Crenshaw County storm, that has expired, but southern Crenshaw County is included in the new tornado warning that continues until 3:30. Take me back to the LD2 source, please, ma'am. And severe thunderstorm warnings continue along the I-65 corridor from exit 142, which is the Fort Deposit and Priesters exit, all the way back down here to the Perdido-Rabin exit, right there just to the north of Baymonette. So big chunk of 65, no travel right now, potentially damaging straight line winds, moving into areas near Bruton, near Appleton over the next few minutes. And we're going to have to see, back over to LB1, again, we talked about this a minute ago, this line of storms moving through Santa Rosa County back into Escambia County, Florida, this is really ramping up. And I think that, again, your primary threat, if it hasn't already, is going to shift into areas here near Pace, near Whiting Field, areas out here near Milton. Strong winds possible, not necessarily saying damaging winds at this point, but we could get another severe thunderstorm warning for Santa Rosa County over the next little bit. So hang tight if you're in Santa Rosa. I'm putting you on notice. We may get a warning in the next few minutes for that area. Bruton, also about to be under the gun. We are based in Bruton, Alabama. If you've been watching this video, it originates from right there in the northern part of Bruton, Alabama. I'm proud to be from Bruton. And if you're in Bruton, we need you to be inside, away from windows. This is not a tornado warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning due to this line of storms here, extending from County Highway 49, which is right there. That, of course, is Appleton Road, Mason Mill Pond Road, back down to areas near Pineview and Flumaton. Very heavy rain, a good bit of lightning. We are hearing thunder at the RedZone Weather Headquarters right there in the northern part of Bruton, where a severe thunderstorm warning continues for the next, let's see, we've got 30 more minutes on that. And goodness gracious, we got a photo, and I want to thank Scott McClellan for sending this in. Let's see how we're going to display this. Take me to my MacBook. Yeah. And this is from a Twitter user, from Evan. That is damage that's coming from Beauregard. And this person says his house has been destroyed. So this is the type of damage that these large, violent tornadoes are doing in east central Alabama. Again, we want to thank Scott McClellan for sending this view in from Twitter user Evan. Goodness gracious, that is horrible damage that happened in this tornado emergency about an hour ago now. Back over to LD1, please. And again, we have an active tornado warning for the northern part of Covington County here in southern Alabama. If you are in Andalusia, if you're in Opp, if you're in Florala, this has nothing to do with you, all right? Nothing to do with Andalusia or Opp. The tornado warning is up here and north. So Dozier and Clearview, areas near red level, you got a tiny community right there called Brooks. All of those areas are included in the tornado warning for the northern part of Covington County. And so again, south of that red line, if you are at Heath, if you are at River Falls near the Gant Lake Dam and point south, no issues for you as of now. There will be some strong storms that move through a bit later that produce potentially damaging straight line winds back in through here. But again, the tornado risk is from Gant Lake and Clearview and points north, going to be coming out here towards Dozier and Brantley in the southern side of Crenshaw County. And by the way, at this point, we can definitely give McKenzie an all clear. Here's McKenzie. This is US Highway 31 here. And so McKenzie back down to even Brooks at this point, we can give an all clear. The possible tornado is right in through here, coming up on the Gant Lake just like that. The Gant Lake is right here. And again, that possible tornado is probably going to move just to the north of there. But if you're at Gant Lake, if perhaps you have a vacation home on Gant Lake, you need to be sheltered as this possible tornado is moving just like that. Basically going to come right on top of the community of Dozier there in southern Crenshaw County. Back over to the iPad, we'll show you the velocity view. And your concern is right in through there. That's the possible tornado in basically on the top of where Butler, Crenshaw, and Covington counties all come together at this point, if you know where that is. Again, Andalusia, Opp, Horn Hill, Florala, Red Oak, Pleasant Home. You are not involved in this tornado warning for Covington County that is valid until, let's see what time it ends. That one's on the board until 3:30 p.m. So current time is 3:01. We got 30 more minutes of this thing. And because it is 3 p.m., let's go back over to LD1, please, and we'll kind of do a reset of what's happening across our region right now. Again, just after 3 p.m. here in South Alabama, where we are dealing with a severe weather outbreak. Numerous tornado warnings have happened today. We've had one large, violent tornado in the southern part of Lee County near Beauregard and Smith Station that has caused exceptional damage south of Auburn. The tornado warning never included Auburn, and thankfully Auburn was spared. But again, major damage on the southern side of Lee County. That's been the headline storm today. And again, the damage photos that we continue to get on Facebook and across the board on social media are just absolutely nightmarish. I mean, it's just not a good situation. Again, we know that folks have been injured in parts of Lee County. And I should mention as well, take me back to LD2, because those same areas, again, we won't spend much time on this. This belongs to the Montgomery and Columbus television market. But look, another tornado warning for those exact same areas. My goodness, it's a double whammy for Smith Station as they are now under the gun. Same thing at Salem, same thing at the community of Smiths, as there could be another tornado on the ground approaching the same area. Also just got an unconfirmed report from West Smith Station Elementary School in Lee County right here. Major damage at that elementary school in southern Lee County. Back over to LD2, and we'll show you what's happening across our region. Again, a tornado warning. This is why we're here. LD1. Tornado warning continues for the next 30 minutes or so for southern Crenshaw and also the northern part of Covington County here in South Alabama. This signature is not exactly impressive per se, but because we are in an environment that could absolutely produce tornadoes, we want you to take this seriously, and we want you to get sheltered if you are along the US Highway 29 corridor near Clearview or the Gant Lake and points north up here in Crenshaw County. This is US Highway 331 right in through there that connects Luverne ultimately down to Onika, areas near Fleta Junior High School. Those areas are not involved in this tornado warning. It's for areas to the north. I'm actually headed to Fleta tomorrow to speak about severe weather safety. And so Fleta and points south of the lake, north of Opp, if you know where that is, not included in this tornado warning. Again, possible tornado right in through here on the southern side of that area of higher reflectivity coming into areas near Dozier. I can't stress enough, if you're at the Gant Lake, especially on the northern side of the lake, you better be doing something about this tornado warning. Let's go back over to the graphics and take down the banner. Again, Clearview, Brantley, Dozier. Lowest floor, site-built structure, away from windows and doors. Don't wait to see this tornado. You are not going to see it. It's rain-wrapped, and there's just no way that you're going to get a good visual of this tornado. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning that we need to tell you about. Let's go back over to LD1, please. And I tell you what, between all these sources, my producer Bentley Martin and Bruce Thompson, they're doing a fantastic job keeping up with the pace of this broadcast. There's your new severe thunderstorm warning, and this is going to include areas near Munson. And looking at the velocity, I tell you what, it's mighty, mighty suspicious. There may be a tornado warning over the next little bit for the northern part of Okaloosa County. So we're going to have to watch this one closely. Let's zoom in on that. Because again, a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Berrydale down to Allentown, Munson, also areas near Hurricane Lake, Milligan, and also areas near Baker, included in this new severe thunderstorm warning that's on the board until 3:45. And also, we can tell you at this point, the tornado warning for Butler County. You know, we had one tornado warning near Daisy in northeastern Butler. That's long gone. But we had the other tornado warning near McKenzie in the southern part of Butler. That one has just been canceled. The warning continues for northern Covington and southern Crenshaw counties. But again, for those areas near McKenzie, I'm giving you an all clear. The severe weather risk at this point has come to an end. You can see the Weather Service has clipped back that polygon, and the threat has now shifted primarily into southern Crenshaw County. If you're at Gant Lake, especially on the north side of the lake, I want you to hang out in that tornado-safe place for the next 5 to 10 minutes, and after that, I'll be able to give you an all clear. Same thing, by the way, at Brooks and also Red Level. Those areas are now out of the tornado warning. And yes, there could be damaging winds from these storms, but the tornado risk has come to an end for McKenzie, for Okie Streak, for areas near Brooks, Red Level, areas along the State Highway 55 corridor there near Andalusia. You are okay as of now. We're getting some power flashes here in our studio, and so if we lose power, our systems are designed to stay up. You may see a flash, and we'll come back on. Goodness, okay. Well, if you'll do this, if you will send me that via the message thing, I'll pull it up on my computer and we will show that. Because again, Bruce Thompson just walked over to me. We got a picture from that violent tornado that happened in the southern part of Lee County, I believe near Beauregard is what that said. And this tornado was so powerful with winds probably up around 175, 185 miles per hour that it brought down a strong cell phone tower. So, goodness gracious, that's going to be, I'm afraid, the headline tornado from today. March 3rd, 2019 will go down as the day that brought a major violent tornado to parts of Lee County, Alabama. Goodness gracious. All right, loading that up now. If you'll take me over to the MacBook source, we'll show that. This is from Brandon Kopic, I believe it's pronounced. Is that right, Kopic? Brandon Kopic. Again, that view is from that large violent tornado. This is probably the US Highway 280 corridor, I would assume. And again, that is in central Alabama in Lee County. We're so blessed with social media that we can get ground truth reports just like this. Again, that's from Brandon Kopic on Twitter, but a cell phone tower was brought down in Smith Station, something that you Don't want to see lots of damage there. Now, I'm afraid, again, that you're going to get views just like that really across that region. Go back over to LD2. We'll zoom into that area. Again, this is well outside of our coverage area, but this is Lee County right here. This is Chambers. This is Russell. And the southern part of Lee County, not because of that tornado that happened about an hour ago. This is a separate tornado, is happening right now near Smith Station, tornado number 2. So it just doesn't get much worse. They're getting a double whammy today from tornadoes near Smith Station. Not what you want to see. And while we're on that source, let me zoom out. Look at this. This is a tornado outbreak at this point. And you see, I can't even count them. There's so many tornado warnings across the state of Georgia. You've got 2 in Alabama, one near Smith Station and the other in our part of the world, near in northern Covington County, I should say. And again, if you are in Andalusia or Opp, areas near the Andalusia Opp Regional Airport, you're okay right now. This tornado warning has never included you. It does include areas near Clearview, near the Gant Lake, near Dozier, Rose Hill, and Brantley. But again, the major population centers in Covington County, you're okay for now. All right, let's go back over to Live Doppler 1, please. And goodness, again, a tornado outbreak, something you pray you never ever see, is transpiring over the state of Georgia. And again, we got issues here in South Alabama. These storms could be producing damaging straight line winds. Believe it or not, the main line of storms has now just passed through the greater Bruton area. It really, you know, there was some wind. I can see out the window that there was some wind involved a bit ago. But the key is here, I think what's happening, these storms out ahead of the main line are blocking the inflow. And that's why we have this severe thunderstorm warning that continues for the next little bit for areas near Munson and also areas near Milligan. This is going to be to the west of Laurel Hill in Okaloosa County. And watching that on radar, take me to the iPad, please. This is a very rural part of Santa Rosa County. You've got the Blackwater River State Forest, kind of a tongue twister, but no indications of a twister or tornado in this. This is a severe thunderstorm, classic looking velocity view, and I'm not seeing anything that would suggest that there's a tornado down in Santa Rosa County. So you're okay right now in terms of the tornado risk, but there very well could be damaging straight line winds near or just to the east of Berrydale. This is State Highway 4, Florida State Highway 4. And if you travel this area frequently, you know that this area is a cell phone hold. No service on AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, or T-Mobile, and that's because you have the Blackwater River State Forest. So a very rural part of northwest Florida here near Munson, where they have a severe thunderstorm warning in place for the next 25 more minutes. Back over to LD1, please, ma'am. And we'll show you the situation at hand. We've been here, I don't know how long we've been here. We've been here a long time. And the deal is that we have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in progress for our coverage area. One tornado warning that continues for the next 10 minutes or so for northern Covington County. And we'll zoom in there. Again, Andalusia and Opp, and areas near the Andalusia Opp Regional Airport, Florala, Pleasant Home, and areas near Red Oak, Green Bay. All those areas, 90% of Covington County is okay with no tornado warning. But for areas near Clearview and areas out here just to the north of Rose Hill, you are involved in a tornado warning. Take me back over to LD2, please, and we'll show you that one more time. This is probably the last time we'll have to look at this, because I think what's going to happen, this tornado is going to move into southern Crenshaw and probably not be too much of an issue for northern Covington. It still could be, but clearly the primary threat is here in southern Crenshaw County. This is US Highway 29 right here. You've got US Highway 331 here, Rose Hill is here, Gant Lake is right here. That is the Conecuh River, which feeds into the Gant Lake and the Gant Lake Dam right there. So again, far northern stretch of Covington and southern Crenshaw involved in that tornado warning. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning over in southeast Alabama. Let's go back over to LD1, the source, please, thanks. And here's the deal. If you are in Troy, if you are at Union Springs, areas near Eufaula, any part of Barber County, which is one of Alabama's largest counties here, new severe thunderstorm warning. Strong storms moving into Troy. You need to be inside. If you know, or I should say, if you have a student at Troy University, call them, let them know new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that area, and that is going to be on the board until 4:30. Current time is 3:14, and so let them know if they're in Troy, severe thunderstorms moving into that area. Same thing over here in Coffee County. Elba is included, Enterprise is not. Also the northeastern corner of Dale now included in a severe thunderstorm warning, valid until 4:30. And the Weather Service, as of several minutes ago, NWS Birmingham, we have now more confirmed damage. You know, we showed you the picture a minute ago of the cell phone tower brought down by that first large violent tornado, and now we have more damage due to a tornado track that either directly paralleled or just to the north or south paralleled this tornado. So now 2 tornadoes producing extreme damage in southern Lee County. The Weather Service is noting that we have confirmed damage with the second tornado in Lee County, east of Little Texas and west of the community of Marvin, very near the U.S. Highway 280 corridor. So again, goodness gracious, a terrible situation this afternoon has transpired in Lee County as we have had 2 tornadoes. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. We got a new tornado warning that we need to tell you about. This is not for our area. This is going to be for areas near Troy, I believe. So again, if you have a student at Troy, we are getting a new tornado warning on the board. And I stand corrected. This polygon does not include Troy. So yes, Troy is involved in the severe thunderstorm warning, but the tornado warning is right in through here, just to the north of Banks in the northeastern part of Pike. This is southern Bullock, and you've also got the core of Barber County. So Clayton and also Eufaula, you now have an active tornado warning that is valid until 4:15. And look, again, I think that's a great call. This atmosphere is incredibly unstable, and the only tornado warning that we have at this point is for southern Crenshaw and northern Covington County. And when I say only tornado warning, I mean specifically for our local area. Your possible tornado is going to be very near the community of Brantley, and the signature is very broad, which is certainly some good news. Take me back to the iPad, please, and we're going to show you this same polygon on velocity. And so, again, here's Dozier. You've got Gant Lake right here. This is Brantley here. U.S. Highway 29 is right there. That's U.S. Highway 331. And so, again, possible tornado is right in through there. We'll kind of draw it on the map. There's your counterclockwise circulation, just like that. So that's your possible tornado, and it's moving just like this. And so we'll have to see over the next few minutes if we get another tornado warning for the northern part of Coffee and perhaps even the southern part of Pike. I think that the core of the rotation is going to be up here in the northern part of Coffee, just to the north of Elba and Enterprise. Yeah, and seeing some videos here on Twitter, we want to thank Bruce for being able to search Twitter of this apparent large violent tornado. It's not the best video, but I do think that that probably is the mesocyclone that produced that tornado near Smith Station. So again, I tell you, we keep getting damage reports up there that are just bad, terrible, and so we certainly want to think about those people in our thoughts and prayers over the next few days, as I tell you what, it has been a terrible, terrible tornado. And I say tornado, we've had 2 tornadoes over the last 2 hours in the southern part of Lee County. A terrible situation, never included Auburn, but again, it's just been a very serious situation near Smith Station and Beauregard in the southern part of Lee County. All right, some good news to pass along. Take me back to LD1, because At this point, we now have no active tornado warnings for any part of South Alabama and Northwest Florida. The Weather Service has just canceled the tornado warning for Crenshaw and for Covington. Good call on their part. That tornado signature is broadening out somewhat, but we do have this line of storms right in through here moving to the southeast. And again, we can give an all clear at this point to all of Butler County. Butler County, you are in the clear. Greenville, Georgiana, McKenzie, you're okay. No issues at this point. Cooler, drier air is about to move in. Same thing back here in Monroe, Wilcox, Marengo, Choctaw, Clark, Washington counties. Those areas are in the clear at this point, and there is now no tornado risk. And so the tornado watch is being canceled back here behind this main line of storms. We'll zoom into southern Baldwin County because those are the areas that haven't had many issues today thus far. This is very heavy rain, but the good news is no severe thunderstorm warnings in those areas. Lots of rain falling right now from I-10 and Union Chapel, Tillman's Corner, Theodore, back over here into areas near the greater Mobile area, areas along the Bayway and Causeway, extending over into the eastern shore and up here near Holly Hills and Bay Minette. But again, those storms are under severe limits. It's heavy rain at this point. And look, even now, the severe thunderstorm risk has lessened somewhat in areas like, in fact, I say lessened, the severe weather risk is now over in Bruton. And so if you're in Bruton or areas near Castleberry or Evergreen, back down to Appleton, over to Atmore, I'm giving you an all clear. The severe weather risk has ended for those areas now that this broken line of thunderstorms has moved through. And very heavy rain is also happening near Pensacola and also Pace. We'll show you that area quickly. We got a new warning to tell you about. This is going to be a new severe thunderstorm warning for Covington, and we'll talk about that in a second. But these storms near Foley and Pensacola are producing very heavy rain and lots of lightning, but those are under severe limits. You've also got this storm near Pace, Whiting Field, Milton, coming into areas near Garson Point, and also areas out near Holt and Harold in Santa Rosa County. Those storms remain under severe limits, but once you cross into the northern part of Santa Rosa County, up here into areas near Munson along the State Highway 4 corridor and Baker, those areas are under the gun from potentially damaging straight line winds that could be in excess of 60 miles per hour. Again, that's Munson, Baker, Blackman, Good Hope, areas near Hurricane Lake as well. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning, and this is going to be for the entirety, I believe. I stand corrected. That is not the entirety. This is a weird situation that we've got going on in Covington County. Go back to LD2. This can be confusing, but we're going to break it down. So let me zoom in just a bit on that area. This is Covington County, a very large county over in south central Alabama. And so if you are in Red Level or Clearview or Rose Hill, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning for the next few minutes. Possible strong winds. If you are in Andalusia, Carolina, or Pleasant Hill, you're okay for now. This is the beauty of the polygon system. We no longer issue warnings, the Weather Service doesn't, by county. They issue them by polygon. And so southern Covington County, this is going to be your new severe thunderstorm warning, and it's valid until that one's going to be on the board until 4 p.m. So current time is 3:21. And if you are near Watkins Bridge along the State Highway 55 corridor, or you're between Opp and Florala on US Highway 331, pull over. You don't want to be driving in this mess. A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for your area. Getting another report from Smith Station of structural damage along Highway 280 between Opelika and Phoenix City. I'm not sure if that's associated with tornado number 1 or number 2 that happened in that area, but goodness, the reports are just coming in. No doubt that a major tornado moved through that area. All right, so let's kind of do a reset. Take me back over to LD number 1, and what we're going to do is begin to end our coverage because it's good news for South Alabama and Northwest Florida as of now. The current time is 3:23 p.m. We have no active tornado warnings for any part of Southwest Alabama or Northwest Florida. Yes, we have severe thunderstorm warnings in place for Crenshaw, much of Covington, eastern Escambia, far southeastern Conecuh near Brooklyn and Boggs and Boulders. You've also got a severe thunderstorm warning for Baker and Milligan in Okaloosa County due to that secondary line of storms that has formed out ahead of the main line of storms. But again, when this line of storms passes through your location, you get an all clear. And so Thomasville, Grove Hill, Jackson, Chatham, Citronelle, Uri, Monroeville, Beatrice, Atmore, Bruton, Evergreen. There may be some rain, there may be some lingering thunder and lightning, but the severe weather risk has come to an end for those areas. Again, severe weather risk continues out and through here in southeast Alabama and now northwest Florida and the Florida Panhandle. We do have a new tornado warning just like that, and this is going to be for Coffee County over in southeast Alabama. Let's zoom in on that area. And we'll switch radar sources here because, again, this line is coming over into southeast Alabama where the radar sits near Dothan or near Fort Rucker. New tornado warning for areas near Elba, all of North Coffee County. Enterprise is not included. This also includes the northwestern part of Dale County, and that's Highway 231 right here south of Troy. So no driving right now from Troy all the way back down to Ozark. You've got severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings in effect for Coffee County. But again, that is outside of our primary coverage area. You need to be watching the Dothan television stations. If you are in Coffee County, you belong to Dothan. And so that's the deal with that tornado warning. Let me check velocity on this and just see what we've got going on before we get out of your hair. All right, and we're going to hang here for the next few minutes because, take me over to the iPad, we got a developing area of rotation in southern Covington County. This is going to be south of Andalusia and Opp. That right there is an embedded circulation in this line of storms currently working into the community of Florala. And the deal is this very well could ramp up and produce a tornado warning over the next few minutes. And so we're going to hang out here and just keep the stream going over the next little bit. And again, that's typical of what we've had today. These cells ramp up, they ramp down, and in some cases, they have produced large, violent tornadoes in parts of Lee County, Alabama, out near Smiths and Smith Station. Just a really bad situation, unfortunately, has transpired there. We don't want to get so specific about the impacts that have happened. We're going to let the news stations handle all that, but we do know and we can tell you that there have been confirmed injuries and also multiple structures damaged in parts of Lee County, way south of Auburn. Has never affected Auburn, thankfully. That certainly is some good news. And we're getting a new warning in. Let's see what's happening here. This is going to be a new severe thunderstorm warning, and it's going to be for parts of Santa Rosa and Okaloosa counties. Take me back to LD2 because this is going to be a new warning. We'll put it up on the screen here. Just to give you context, let's zoom out. And this is northwest Florida. You've got Santa Rosa County here, Okaloosa County here. This is southern Covington. This is eastern Escambia County, Alabama. Your new severe thunderstorm warning is right in through here. Crestview, Laurel Hill, Auburn, Florida, not to be confused with Auburn, Alabama, and also areas near Baker and Milligan are included in this new severe thunderstorm warning that is valid until 4:15 p.m. So current time is 3:27. We got about 48 more minutes on this thing as it moves through the northern part of Okaloosa County. Again, normally we don't stay on for severe thunderstorm warnings, but we've got this area of rotation in southern Covington that I keep looking down and seeing, and so we're going to hang out here. That's our plan of action, and so keep that in mind. Let's turn on the radar data here. Am I on 2 or 1? I'm on 2. Okay, great. Let's turn on the radar data, and we can show you exactly what's happening from our point of view on the radar. And again, you've got two main areas of storms right now that are under severe limits. Very heavy rain, lots of lightning starting now in Daphne, in Fairhope, areas here near Loxley, coming into Robertsdale, Silver Hill. You've also got this other area of storms out here in Santa Rosa County near Harold and Holt and Whiting Field, Milton, Pensacola, extending back down to NAS, and also Warrington, pushing off to the southeast. But most of that line is under severe limits. Once you get up here to Munson and Baker, that's where the storm has been deemed severe, meaning that wind gusts could exceed 60 miles per hour over the next little bit in communities like Munson and also areas near Baker and Milligan. All right, and the good news is this thing in southern Covington is weaker, so that is a bit of good news. We now have 2 active tornado warnings. Back over to LD1, one in the northern part of Coffee and northwest Dale County, right here. You've also got a tornado warning for southern Bullock and also central and northern Barber County, including the city of Eufaula. Elba is included in that tornado warning, but for our local area in South Alabama and northwest Florida, no active tornado warnings. Yes, it's going to be wet. We're going to have a good bit of rain, lightning, and thunder that's going to continue. But again, no tornado warnings at this point. We also should note, look at Georgia. Look at that. We've got tons of tornado warnings over here in Georgia. In fact, the city of Albany now under a tornado warning. Multiple tornadoes happening as this significant tornado outbreak continues on a day that will be remembered for this large, violent tornado that moved through the southern part of Lee County. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning that we need to tell you about. This is going to be for central Covington County, and I think this is a good call on the part of our National Weather Service friends. Andalusia and Opp. We've been talking about how they're not involved in a severe thunderstorm warning, but now they are. And so your major population centers in Covington County, Andalusia, Opp, areas near Horn Hill, areas near the lake on the northern side of Opp, Onika, Carolina, Pleasant Home. All those areas now involved in a severe thunderstorm warning that is valid until 4:15 p.m. The concern is damaging straight line winds coming into areas like Andalusia, like Carolina. Area of concern is out here near Luango right now. And take me back over to the iPad, because I tell you what, this thing is wanting to wrap up. So I'm giving you a heads up. If you are in Andalusia or Carolina, be ready over the next 5 to 10 minutes. Developing area of rotation as of now. Now, we'll have to see if it ramps up to the point where it can produce a tornado and thus a warning would be issued. But as of now, that is a concern area coming into Andalusia right now. So again, we're going to hang out here. I keep saying we're going to go off, but unfortunately, we just keep getting these storms that are cycling up and cycling down. This is the thing in northern Coffee, pretty distinct area of rotation there just to the north of Elba. And again, this is northern Coffee County. This is crossed out of southern Crenshaw and northern Covington. This was the same storm, by the way, that produced the tornado warning back here in Butler, Crenshaw, and Covington counties. That one is now off the board, but you've got this tornado warning for the northern part of Coffee and also northwestern Dale right in through there. Lots of lightning with that mesocyclone that could be producing a tornado in the northern part of Coffee County. Strong winds possible over the next few minutes in places like Crestview, also areas near Baker and Milligan, Auburn, Florida. Very, very serious severe thunderstorm warning in progress. Lots of lightning. And again, there could be damaging straight line winds in the northern part of Okaloosa County. Doesn't include Destin, doesn't include areas near Eglin Air Force Base or Fort Walton, but the northern half of Okaloosa is included in this severe thunderstorm warning that's valid until, that one is on the board until 3:45. So about 16 more minutes on that. And again, the other active tornado warning that we're tracking right now, go back over to LD number 1, please, is going to be over here in East Alabama. Eufaula is under a tornado warning. This is southern Bullock and central and northern Barber counties, where they've got the other tornado warning that is valid until 4 o'clock. So again, a significant situation there in Barber and southern Bullock counties, south of Union Springs. But look, at this point, this line of storms is beginning to push out of our area. It's not there yet, and we've still got severe storms in Covington and Okaloosa counties, but no doubt about it, over the next hour or so, the severe weather risk will end completely for all of southwest Alabama and northwest Florida. Again, we're not there yet. We're not out of the woods just yet, but we are close. And so that certainly is some good news. You'll begin to see even more counties trimmed out of the tornado watch. In fact, while we're on this kick, let's talk about who gets an all clear. Back to LD2. And so if you're in Bruton, if you're in Bay Minette, if you are in the city of Mobile, also areas near Pritchard, Saraland, Satsuma, Porch, Atmore, also Flomaton, Century, areas near Evergreen, all those areas get an all clear as they are now behind this line of storms. And again, behind this line, you've got cool, stable air beginning to filter in. It's going to be quite chilly on Monday. In fact, high temperatures only going to be around 57 tomorrow, and by Wednesday morning, we'll be down around the freezing mark. And so that's what's caused, one of the reasons we've had all this severe weather today, cold air coming in from the north and warm air out to the south and east. And of course, when those two collide, sometimes you get severe weather, just like we've had today. Again, hanging here, as we're watching this thing in Covington County, where we have an active severe thunderstorm warning that continues over the next 30 minutes or so. And so if you are in Andalusia or Carolina, areas here near the Andalusia Opp Regional Airport, also Hornhill, areas near Carolina, also Opp, Oneika, areas near Fleta Junior High School, all those areas are under this severe thunderstorm warning. That's a little notch in this line, and that thing could be producing damaging straight line winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. Taking a look at the velocity on that, lightning output has increased, but the good news is the circulation that was apparent earlier has decreased. So that certainly is some good news. So here's the deal. Here's what we're going to do. Barring another development on radar in terms of the circulation, we're going to kick out of here in 2 minutes. That is the drill. That is the plan. We'll see if that happens. As of now, we have severe thunderstorm warnings that continue for parts of Covington County, Andalusia, Opp, Oneika, down to Florala, Crestview, Milligan, Baker, Laurel Hill. Those are the areas involved in the severe thunderstorm warnings. And again, no active tornado warnings for any part of southwest Alabama or northwest Florida as of 3:35 p.m. We do have a tornado warning for northern Coffee, northern Dale, and also much of Barber County, including the city of Eufaula. But no tornado warnings for our local area. Because of that, and because I've been talking for now 3 hours straight, we're going to take a break, and you know the drill. If we have more tornado warnings, we'll come straight back on the live stream to bring you the very latest. Our coverage will continue in the RedZone Weather app. Get the app. It's totally free in your respective app store. Download it today and set up those customized alerts. Those have been very helpful today in all of our tornado warnings. On behalf of Bentley Martin and also Bruce Thompson, I'm Spinks Megginson saying goodbye for now. Tornado watch continues to the east over the next few hours. We'll keep you posted in the RedZone.